Peace, Waterhead family, and we are back to do another late night reading. We're going to tap into this love energy. We're going to talk about love because I feel like I was reflecting on myself, and I keep hearing things like, I'm not here to lie to you, I'm not here to play you, I'm not here, to put you through the same trauma you've been through before, okay? And sometimes we be really hanging on to that trauma. We be really hanging on to those things that we've experienced that brought us pain. And we try to do ourselves a service by protecting ourselves from allowing anything like it to happen again. But while we're also trying to prevent something from happening, we're simultaneously blocking ourselves from new happening. And by new, I mean connections that come in to support us in our healing that may walk with us through discomfort when it comes to approaching certain triggers and wounds. But instead of re traumatizing us, they're actually here to help us recover whatever. Sorry, I got distracted. They're here to help us recover whatever doubt, loss, or lack that we um, experience in that space, right, of vulnerability. So we have to know that relationship wounds cannot be healed alone. They are something that we have to be willing and open to collaboration with other people to help us overcome. And this is not just romantic love, this is even family love, friendship love, coworker love, wherever you've experienced any type of connection to another being, but you experience being betrayed, hurt, let down, disappointed, whatever the case may be. The only way to overcome whatever fears, apprehend. Oh my God, everything is dying. Sorry, I need to get my charger. Anyways, we're going to talk about it. That's what we're going to talk about on today's live discussion. And we're going to pull a couple cards around guidance for us at this time as we venture into new partnerships, new relationships, especially going into 2025. I feel like a theme that is going to be very important in this upcoming year is collaboration with others. The same sex, the opposite sex, you're going to have to be willing to collaborate and work with other people, especially to grow into the purposes that this new timeline or this new era is asking of us to participate in, because times are changing where the old is clearly falling. So it's like we need new leaders, we need new communities, we need new groups of people that are collaborating to work on building the new, right? Because the old is clearly going away. Only give it to you. Okay. YouTube, I just got on here spontaneously as fuck. I'm sorry, I'm kind of unprepared. I'm so sorry. I don't mean to waste your time. I just was on TikTok all night and I was like, I might as well share some of this with YouTube. I done readings for every zodiac sign, everything. I'm an Aries rising. Right. They do be real comfortable behind the screen. Like, y'all be talking to me crazy. Would never say that to my face in real life though. Anyways, okay, bad man, what's up? And thanks for joining the channel. I appreciate the love, the support. So as I'm saying, I don't want to say too much because this is something that we're going to actually have to be more willing to experience than we are, speaking about it and thinking about it. It's something that you're going to have to trust yourself in navigating, because it's like, think about it. You've gone through all these lessons. Let me slow down. I'm like, you have gone through all these lessons. You've learned all these different things about yourself, about people. You've learned a lot. So it's like, at what point do you just stop? It's not that you stop learning, but when you stop obsessing over the lessons and trying to protect yourself and trying to heal and whatever you call yourself doing to recover from the things you've endured, when do we finally get to the part where now we can use that wisdom, that intelligence, that knowledge to then create better outcomes or partnerships with new opportunities? So this is the time that's approaching where it's like, enough of the healing talk, enough of the isolation, enough of the keeping yourself in hermit, trying to reflect and learn and be introspective over all the lessons and feeling like people are just all coming with some type of karma or agenda or some type of negative energy for you to get by. Enough of like trying to hide from the world and experiences, because you have experienced a lot already. Like, we know this, we've got, like, life continues on. So you have to continue on instead of living in some type of fear of, well, this is just how it's going to be. This is how it's always going to be. It's like, no, you are growing. Your character has been developing over time through these experiences for you to be able to approach new opportunities that you've been prepared for. You've been praying for better people. You've been praying for better relationships. You've been praying for your heart to heal. Okay, well then, yes, that took you through the season of trials, tribulations, releasing, letting go, cutting off, moving out of certain people's lives, out of certain paths. It took a process of decluttering and detoxing you and your life, and learning what you were doing wrong, right? In order for you to get to this point where now you're free, okay, and you have room, space, and you have intelligence from your life experiences, wisdom, to now apply to the drawing board. What are you going to create from this point moving forward? And does that mean our creations are going to be like perfect, where everything's just going to be harmonious and beautiful all the time? No, but that should be the goal, for you to strive to have harmony amongst you and your community. Whoever your community is, whoever you're dealing with, the goal is to achieve harmony with them, is to understand that we're all striving to grow and overcome certain fears, limitations, insecurities, or trauma that we've been through. So, for example, like I was about to use myself. Okay. Like, damn, I can only speak for myself. Oh, can we take a moment to appreciate your work? Your work is so fire. Yeah. Thank you. All right. I appreciated myself. Thanks. Go follow me on Instagram to find out my work. You know what I be doing out here. Oh. All right. See, when it's late, things just get a little weird. Okay, let's go based off what somebody's saying in the comments, because this is what I was going to go towards anyways. I just didn't want to just throw myself out there, but we're going to do it anyways. He said, I don't know if I don't know you though, off rip, I ain't trusting you. It ain't that easy. Period. I agree. So to go based off of trust, right? Like, we may have learned to not trust easily because when we were younger, or at any point of our lives when we were a little bit more naive and gullible, we gave trust freely, okay? But then people began to show us why that was not the right way to go about giving trust. because people who were given too much up front ended up, doing things to show why over time they had to receive less and less and less of that trust because they were taking it for granted, they were playing with it, they were doing things that ultimately disrupted and destroyed the connection of trust. So then it's like coming out of seasons of dealing with that own pattern within yourself of giving trust freely without really knowing yet what it is you needed in order to say, I trust this person, or this is why I trust this person, before you even gain the knowledge that this is the prerequisite that needs to be met before I know I can fully trust this person, or at least trust this person with more. Because I feel like we can obviously trust telling somebody our name. We can trust making a connection with a person, but how comfortable we are with sharing certain things about ourselves and who we are as people, that is where before we may have not known what we needed uh, uh, ahead of us giving more. So then it's like coming into this new era, going into 2025, you are now able to look at those experiences you can look at those experiences and you can see where boundaries were missing. You can see where um, maybe you had a problem with overgiving or doing more to prove to yourself or to prove to them why you were trustworthy in hopes that they would reciprocate the same. So we have to first like look at how we're relating to ourselves, no matter what. I can go through a bunch of different scenarios, but I'm always going to come back to the relationship with yourself is most important, because a lot of the times when we experience betrayal or a lack of trust in a relationship, it's literally mirroring our own betrayal to ourselves, or where we're not trusting our own intuition or our own instincts that says, no, you shouldn't say this around this person, or no, you shouldn't do this, or no, you shouldn't go here. When you're not trusting your own self and you proceed to do that thing instead, and then boom, oh, I can't trust them. Well, you didn't trust yourself when you felt that feeling of discomfort or any signal that you were given to maybe wait. So when you're in a cycle of betraying yourself, not listening and honoring and trusting your own self, your own intuition, then that's where you kind of let yourself be deceived by other people. So everything does show you how you are relating to yourself. Some things we can't, like some things it's not about us. Like I can't say that applies to every single thing, but generally speaking, what we find ourselves struggling with in connection is something that we are personally not able to grasp within ourselves. Trust. We're going to talk about trust, because trust does not mean that everything is going to go the way that I want it to go. It means that I know that if something happens, then I trust myself to be able to respond and properly move, properly respond and move myself out of a situation so that I don't bring complete destruction to myself. You trust yourself enough to know how to move and recover out of situations, to set boundaries, to make adjustments, whatever you need to do in order to move forward with peace of mind. Going back to trusting other people, though, because one thing I can say in my journey of self love, like I'm very well, you can do very well at navigating a relationship with yourself, but that doesn't always instantly mean that opening up to others is as easy. Like I know I trust myself, right? Being an intuitive reader and helping people who I don't know anything about, and I'm just reading their lives and their souls, like I gotta have some trust in myself for sure. But when it comes to others, let me read some comments. Hold on, because I feel it's something like that, Mr. Fritz. Trust can let you make a decision before the outcome even happens. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Okay, to this statement, trust. Fuck. Okay, trust can let you make a decision before the outcome even happen. Okay, okay, I get what you mean. For example, if you find yourself like committing to a person, but obviously the relationship is not matured naturally into a commitment yet, but let's say you trust this person, you trust yourself, you trust what you feel. So even if this person, it's not about the other person, right? It's just about you trust your feelings and you want to be, you like this person, you want this person, and that's what you're going to focus on. Yeah, you can make a decision to commit yourself to that person and be loyal to them before maybe there's even a conversation to reciprocate that loyalty to you. Now, does this make the other person untrustworthy? No, this just means that you and the other person are at different points in your connection with yourself, where one of you in the connection has clearly come to a point of like, I trust my feelings, or I'm aware that there's something in this that's different, or what I want over what I see in others, and I'm going to choose to put my full attention here and see where this goes, because that's just who I am. We have to remember that we are different people, and there's just differences we have when it comes to like how we trust ourselves and how we respond to when we feel safe to be ourselves. Like when we feel safe to love, we may choose to just give that love to that person because that's ultimately what honors our feelings. That's honoring ourselves. When we choose somebody and we want to pour into them, we're doing that for ourselves because those are our feelings that we're honoring, like how we feel about them. But to then expect somebody to be in that same space as you at the same time, that's where there's conflict between control and love. Or there can be conflict. Well, I can't trust this person because this person's not completely making that decision with me yet. Not necessarily. It's not like they're not making that decision. It's just you've arrived at that point before they did. This person may still need to work out whatever things that they need to work out within. Not to say they don't see you're worth that. They could see that you're worth that, but the way that we individually are set up to listen and honor ourselves, some of us need that time or a space, or just um, getting more clear in our own feelings, getting more clear in our own wants, getting more clear in what it is that we know about ourselves that we need to honor. So it's like as somebody's feelings and like knowing, their inner knowing is developing within, for them to be able to be like, okay, I know for a fact that this is how I feel and this is what I want and I want to go for this. Then that's like when you and a person are able to meet each other and make that decision. But we can't control or force another person's will into meeting us. And then if they don't, oh, well, I don't trust them because they're not giving at the same rate that I am. Everybody deserves trust that you're choosing to be intimate with, at least. Okay? Because I'm now talking about intimate relationships. Like, if you really like a person, I would say, and you're dating them, and one of you have made your mind up and you've made a decision probably before they did, I wouldn't say that they're not trustworthy if they've done nothing to you to show that they're not. You know, um, I would just be very mindful of allowing people to come to their own conclusions for themselves, right? Because I feel like what would be untrustworthy is if you're with somebody that's lying or pretending or going along with what you're saying and just people pleasing. Now, that's a motherfucker you don't want to trust. Somebody who can be honest with themselves that they like you and that they are developing a deeper attraction to you or need some type of time or space to process or work on releasing or doing whatever they need to do to come into that conclusion themselves that they want to make the same decision as you to be committed or loyal or whatever the agreement is, um, that is better than somebody lying, and pretending to be on that same page as you. We still have to leave, like, trust has to have some amount of faith in there where we have to give people like we have to have faith that people will, like, trust and faith go hand in hand. Like, you have to trust and have faith that people will make the best decisions for their highest good. So therefore it will include your highest good as well too. So even if a person decides to break away and do something different, well, isn't that for your highest good? Because that means you didn't get bamboozled and deceived and brought through a fake ass relationship with somebody who only said yes or agreed to whatever it is you wanted because it was convenient for them or whatever excuse. So I'm off that. I'm done talking about trust because we're working on it. Ask a question. Go ahead. You are able to pick up on everyone's true feelings, which shakes up your judgment. Hesitation in a situation like that shows a flaw, though, which can lead to thinking about what's after a flaw. I agree. Hesitate. Okay, so hesitation in a situation. Okay, we're using relationship. So we're saying hesitation in a relationship um, can show a flaw. Okay, but how do I respond to this? I'm trying to figure this out. We do overthink. I'll acknowledge that sometimes when somebody's not responding or showing up the way that our heart desires at the given time that we set, then we could start overthinking about why is there hesitation or what is preventing this person from opening up the way that I'm opening up. Well, that's where we have to kind of, understand that love works in a way that um, isn't there to force anything open. Love is a very gentle force. If it's a force at all, it's very gentle. So it's like the only way you can really get something or someone to open up in love is to be patient, is to be kind, is to be consistent, is to be persistent and show that you're steady and stable, like you're not switching up, right? Because like I said, some people just need a little time or they just need space to work through whatever uh, self-limiting beliefs or whatever is causing that hesitation, right? Whatever, if it's a self-limiting belief, if it's a trigger, if it's something that they have not released or let go of yet. Some people need that space and time to navigate and work through that before they bring you into it, right? This is something that I've been really sitting on and reflecting because it's like as much love that I be ready and willing to give to somebody, love teaches us that we are all individuals still on our own path still having to practice honoring ourselves, even in connection with other people. So, no matter how much love we see somebody's willing and able and capable of giving us, we have to know that we as well are able to reciprocate that. So, if we're not yet in the space where we feel like we can really reciprocate that, then what makes you more trustworthy than being honest with yourself and then the other person that I need time, space, or some type of work on myself needs to be done here, so that I can come to an honest and authentic place of choosing to open up without feeling like I'm going to set myself up for failure. Because remember, what someone does to themselves is what they're going to do to you. So if somebody sets themselves up for failure by being a people pleaser and saying yes because they feel like you want them to say yes, but they know they're saying yes when they really mean no. And now they're putting themselves at risk of being disappointed by themselves, which means they're going to disappoint you as well because they weren't ready. You would definitely end up trusting somebody who's honest with you about where they're at than a person who will pretend to be at the same space that you're at and then end up hurting you because they end up hurting themselves by lying to themselves first. You get me? People are only as honest to you as they are to themselves. Yes, love can be harsh as well and be very demanding and hardcore. Love is definitely tough at times, but it's not a toughness that is by force. It's a toughness that is through self accountability, self reflection, self growth, self learning, and self awareness. Like you have better quality relationships when you are aware of yourself and you're aware of your capacity to give or commit or be in a relationship or offer certain things to a connection. When you are more in control and managing your own energy, time, essence, you're able then to, invest proportionally into somebody else who's then able to reciprocate with you, hopefully. That's the hope, is that, okay, I hope this person can reciprocate. But if they can't, I can trust them if they're honest with me that right now they're not able to reciprocate or match that energy, or, it's just not a natural response for them to do that. Like, compatibility and chemistry is nothing you have to force, right? Like it's either you have it or you don't. Self-awareness is self-love made for investing into others for growth. Self-awareness is self-love made for investing into others for self-growth. Right. That's why I'm like, cut the talking stage out of dating. We're dating to get to know each other, because dating is meaning I'm investing my time and energy because I'm interested in you. Dating is to grow interest in somebody. So that's why I don't even mention no talking phases. Baby, we're dating. We're cultivating a connection, a friendship, trying to figure out a foundation, understand the different aspects of our connection, our chemistry, our compatibility, our goals, our dreams, who we are as people. Can we make good friends? We're over here exploring and connecting in a lot of different areas in love. Um, and we might find in that exploration of dating to grow interest in some people, we might start saying that actually, I'm not. Let me pull this out. Like, I ain't trying to lose no more time and energy. My investors, you know what I'm saying? You put in your bet, you put in your money on something because you are interested. You want to grow interest in it, but maybe some things you start noticing and it's like, this ain't it. pull out. It's done. You got your energy, time, and money back without having to be hurt or hurt others, because you went as far as you genuinely felt inspired to go until you had to come to a new point of honesty or choice within self, that to honor myself, I have to honor that this is where this connection or this investment ends. I'm looking at YouTube. I am what I am. You are what you are. Amen. But I did want to comment back to you, like, on your comment, like, yeah, being able to pick up on people's energies and feelings does make it a little challenging for me. Is it safe to say you want to lead with your heart, but your mind won't allow you? Y'all came in here trying to read me today, huh? Okay. Yeah, yeah, maybe a little bit, occasionally, yeah. Leading with my heart, like, honestly, we're having a heart to heart. So this is something that I've been, along with everything else I'm talking about. Um, Trust has to have faith in it. And following your heart, you're going to have to know how to trust your feelings and then have faith that that shit is going to lead you to where you want to be. And that is really hard, to follow your heart. It's trust and faith is principles of love that cannot be measured, that cannot be predicted, that cannot be, given any type of concrete conclusion to until you, like, see it for yourself. Um, so yeah, following my heart has been a challenge, just because you follow your heart in other situations and you run into disappointment, you run into heartache, you run into um, errors, right? But like I said, the thing that I feel like that's helped me the most is realizing that most of these errors come from self, not acknowledging self, not listening to self, not um, giving self what it needed before it made a choice or made its mind up on something or someone, or um, yeah, following the heart is risky business, straight up, because it's like there's more weight on you to really honor yourself, in even in spite of somebody not, like, you can't betray yourself because you think somebody else is not doing you right, like, because it's like, who you going to end up hurting? Not them. You're going to end up hurting you, like, so it's not for the weak. Following your heart is not for the weak, okay? And I know I'm strong, but it's just, that's just a different type of strength. And let's just say my window for exercising in that arena is very short, and it's very limited when how many times I'm going to let myself go into that type of space of following my heart, because I do think you have to be very wise. You have to be very wise when it comes to that, because you can follow something and go straight into fucking hell, you know? So that's why I'm like, as we are approaching this new era, it's important that you reflect and look at the things that you learned from when you were maybe more ignorant, more blind in your faith, more blind in your trust, more just naive, and just didn't really know what prerequisites, we're going to call them, that you needed first before you fully, like, took on a journey or a mission to pursue something from your heart. Because, as we have learned from our past, most of us have learned boundaries, where we needed to have boundaries, where we needed to ask certain questions, where we needed to, um, you know, witness and experience certain things before we arrived at certain conclusions. Like, yes, the feelings are there to guide us, to encourage us to keep going into exploration of love and seeing what love has to show us. But the way that we integrate it, the way that we learn, the way that we piece it together, that's not something that love is responsible for. That's what we're responsible for, and how we create, maintain, engage with love, how we mold love, how we, you know, stay in the frequency of love, even when people are not doing the same around us, even when people are struggling with their own relationship with themselves. Because again, it's easier said than done, but like taking personal other people's behavior and how and what they are open to and not open to, that's not your business. It's just not. You can only inspire. You can inspire, but you can't control. You can't. Okay, let me see what y'all saying. I don't have an ego in my way of nothing. I wouldn't be able to speak and be open hearted on this platform if I had an ego in my way, first of all. I don't have an issue with opening up to love. I know I'm a loving person. Um, the only problem is meeting people who have the same capacity to love. That's all. Because where I am in my relationship with myself, I realized not everybody else is there, and not everybody will be there. And we fluctuate in our relationship with ourselves. So even where I feel like I am in love right now, tomorrow I could feel completely different. I could feel further away. I could feel like it's harder for me to love tomorrow for some reason than I felt today. So it's like, that's another part that I've been learning, where it's like, you know, unconditional love literally means to just be who you are and love people because you want to love them, but taking responsibility as well too for the love you're giving, how you choose to show up, and what you're requiring from people, if you require anything at all. Like, that's all up to you to manage your own love, your own heart, your own feelings with wisdom and accountability. And lots of grace, because we're not always going to have it right. We're not always going to be perfect. So I'm open to loving others. I'm just, you know, playing a game of patience all the time, where I'm like, well, how wide and far and can somebody go with reciprocating this love? And that's the problem. A lot of times is people have not really ventured so deep into themselves that they can honestly match that energy of being able to journey deeper into love with you, deeper into heart, deeper into following that call into closer connection. Because it's vulnerable. Because I mean, somebody has to really see you. But that's good, because we're not asking for perfection. We're asking for realness. We're asking for, do you want to be better? Do you want to experience more love? Because more love will definitely open you up, expand you, break down your previous beliefs and point of views of reality. Like, it will definitely change you, change your life. It'll do a lot if you allow. You got guilt trip into loving unconditionally? How? It's if you learn, if that situation taught you that, I would say that's a blessing. Because if anything, even if that person and you weren't meant to stay together, it taught you that you achieve some type of freedom through love. You know, like to love unconditionally, you now know what it means to be free in love, which means you're not going to sit here taking every little thing a person says or does or isn't doing personal. It's like, I love you just because I love you. Like, I learned unconditional love from a person that I barely even really like. I wasn't ever really that close to them. Like, I got to know them for a brief moment, and I really admired them way more than they admired me. Like, I don't know. Like, they just were jealous and just had like problems that did not allow them to reciprocate the love that I felt. But I didn't make that like, oh, well, if they can't love me the way that I love them, I'm not going to love at all. I turned it into, well, I'm going to love that person despite whatever they feel about me, despite whatever makes them treat me a certain way. I don't care. Like, I love them because I love them. Like, I just do. Like, because I love myself. So that's why I'm like, everything goes back to like your relationship with yourself. Like, I know, hell no, right? Basically, we know, like, I had to take my power back. But I did learn unconditional love from a situation where I'm like, this person acts like they'll never accept me, never embrace me, never see what I see in them and me. Like, but, and it was painful, I ain't gonna lie, but it was definitely like, it showed me like, damn, like I can really unconditionally love, which means I just basically unlocked what it means to be free in love. And like, that's a feeling that even if it wasn't meant to be for that connection, that's a feeling that I now know I want to take in every relationship with me. Like, I want to love you so much that like I'm free from whoever I think you should be. I want to just love you. Like, I don't want to love my idea of you. I don't want to love who I think you should be to me. Like, I want to love you where I know like I love you because you're you. And that's what I learned essentially from that experience is like, I didn't need them to be what I thought I needed them to be to love them. I just love them. And that was the type of love that I knew was like, it made sense to me. Like, I'm gonna love myself and anyone like this from now on. And hopefully I click with somebody that, you know, has that same love for me back. But am I gonna, you know, become an evil person if I don't? No. Like, it's just a reminder of who I am to be in the energy of unconditional love. Like, that just lets me know I really fuck with myself because I'm not affected by by validation, external validation. I'm not affected by that. I can connect with unconditional love because I am. And for whatever purpose I had to love and share love with that person, like, okay, I did. But I don't feel like I lost anything because unconditional love is forever flowing. Like, it's continuous. It's not restricted, limited, only have this much. No, it's not transactional. It's not conditional. It's not, it just is. And that is essentially who we are. We just are love. Like, so it's like, how can I be mad at something that truly put me back in connection with source energy, even if that person was not who I was meant to really be with or anything at all. Like, I grew an awareness of what it means to be fully embodying God's love and just giving radiant, unconditional love just because it is a blessing and a curse. It really is. Like, I feel immense pain just as much as I feel immense joy. But it's like, you just can't experience love without being willing to feel that, without being willing to feel everything. That's why I'm like, following your heart, love. It's not for the weak. Like, you have to be willing to like shift through all those moods, emotions, and feelings and still be rooted in the truth that it's all love. It's all love. Like, there's really nothing more to it. All there is, all we need is she on her gojo with unconditional love. Okay, literally. It's just all we hope, like all I hope for is just, okay, I'm ready to love and be loved. So it's like, can we flow? Like, can we get this flow of unconditional love going between us where it's like, it's not about the looks, it's not about the image, it's not about the money, it's not about anything materialistic, it's not about codependency, what you can do for me, who you can, it's not about nothing other than like purely, I love who you are, I love who you're becoming, I love you because you just are you. That's a supreme level of love that I don't know if everybody's gonna get to that point in this lifetime, unfortunately. But that should be like the aspiration of just being able to hold that type of space for not just a significant other, but I'm talking family member, friend, anybody. Like your friends, your family members, they don't have to be what you think they should be for you to just love them for being. Same applies for your partner. Either you love them or you don't. It's that simple. What else do I want to mention? What's my perfect? Well, first of all, my perfect example does not have the word perfect in it because ain't nothing perfect about love. It's messy as fuck. Purposeful love is after unconditional. I agree. Yeah, once you tap into unconditional love and you truly embrace like what it means to be free around somebody and hold space for another person to be free around you because there's unconditional love, then yes, that's when you're able to collaborate and then create purpose with one another, where you're able to embrace each other's strengths and weaknesses, gifts and skills. You're able to find a way to create a purpose together, a purpose to either build, establish a family, whatever, create whatever your partnership can best create together, a great friendship, whatever. But both people have to be able to show up fully as themselves. They have to know that they're unconditionally loved and accepted. Follow me on Instagram, and I'm encouraging you all to go to my YouTube channel. That's what I'm streaming on. So this is where I will be, especially once they take TikTok away from me. So just search this on or YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And then for Instagram, it's the same name as my TikTok. I am _ Kiana Williams. But what's my perfect example of love? What's my real example? What's a real example of love to me? Because I don't like the word perfect. Ain't nothing perfect about love. What's a real example of love to me? Me? I'm laughing because only I get it. Only I get it. Only I'm going to understand that one. Only I'm going to understand that. Sorry, it's not for y'all. That was for me. Me? I am the perfect example of love. Me? I feel like between a man and a woman, when it comes to a romantic partnership, I um I kind of see it as like my ideal is to know that both of our inner children, you know, our inner child, our inner teenage self, like all the younger versions of ourselves, feel like they can come out and be seen and be safe and be felt and experienced. Because I do feel like what makes us well rounded adults is being able to nurture those younger versions of ourselves that may have became stunted at some point. So it's like if you really want to see somebody grow and reach their potential, you have to be able to provide a safe space for yourself and your partner to be able to revisit younger versions of themselves, trauma, different things that they left behind or just didn't finish growing into, out of. You have to be able to nurture the children in each other. That's my perfect idea of love, is being with somebody that's equally nurturing of my inner child as I would be theirs. Because I feel like the way we make our dreams come true, or the way that we just become more whole, is through bringing back younger parts of ourselves that have gone missing or we've hidden because they've been hurt or we gave up on, or we're just, don't ever have space for them to be. But I feel like in a real, like, ideal love connection, I would feel and hope my partner would feel too that they have space to let those other parts of them shine through. Happy y'all. I haven't made it with nobody yet. Look, that's my ideal. Like, I haven't made it yet. Okay. Can we get a poem before you go? Thank you. Oh, y'all all talking about different things. What the freak? TikTok about to ban us all. Yeah, that's that. Oh yeah, people making it into the chat. I'm so lost. Y'all talk. Y'all do y'all fucking thing in the chat. Yeah, locking in before 2025, y'all. This is the heart to heart. This is the type of heart to hearts that we need to be able to have with our people around us. Like, I'm hoping that this video reaches people to show them like an example of just talking, of just opening up and understanding like all this love stuff really starts with ourselves. If you're struggling in relationships of any kind, partnerships, it's time to really look at how you are showing up for yourself, or where you're falling short. How are you, like, what are you letting yourself get away with? What are you not? Because you got to love yourself first and be able to self correct and be self aware, like self first. And then that's when you're able to then extend the help that you've learned to give yourself to another person. The love you've learned to give yourself, you can give to another person, which means you can forgive them easier. If you learned how to forgive yourself, you can give them mercy. If you know how to give yourself mercy, you can give them love. If you know how to give yourself love, you can give them healing. If you know how to give them healing, you can give them space. If you know how to give yourself space, you know how to handle people when you know how to handle yourself. You know how people are because you know how you are. Just like the opposite. People who sit here stressing about being cheated on, mistreated, and oh, people aren't trustworthy. Well, you feel that way because you know yourself. You haven't yet worked on and fixed and corrected those parts of yourself that aren't trustworthy. So of course you're going to think everybody else is like that because you're like that. We see this happen all the time, people projecting. So we know that the issue isn't others, the issue is with self. So with that being said, family, I'm going to go ahead and switch over to a poem. Give y'all some food for thought. I think that's enough. But just know this year going into 2025, it's going to be a time to not only be in the energy of practicing the of practicing self-love, but practicing a love that you can extend from yourself and share with another person, which means you have to be willing to listen and learn from them as well. And you're going to have to be patient with people being, you know, at different points in their journey, just like you were when you wanted to become, let's say you wanted to become a manager, or you just wanted to become, buff in the gym or something like that. You had a goal. You didn't start that way. You had to be patient with that version of yourself that had to go through that change. So just how in your relationship with yourself, you had to be patient before you began to see a change or shift in who you are. You're gonna have to be that way with people. But you have to know people who want to be helped and who want to grow and change versus people who just want to stay stagnant and complacent and in suffering. Because love is not stagnant. Love grows. So if a person's not growing, baby, they ain't got enough love for you, nobody, nothing. Okay, just let them go. We don't got time for that. But somebody that you see is learning and practicing how to pour into themselves, how to, has a desire for bettering themselves, is, working on like consistency, little things, to just improve themselves. That person is somebody who's open to love, is connecting with the love that is in themselves. Therefore, that is somebody I'm like, okay, we can help them. We can love, we can add some love. We can collaborate with them because they got something. They're working with something. They need help. They need support, obviously. But that's why we're here. That's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to connect with people. Like, we're not supposed to look at people like, oh, you're not enough. No, it's like, I see that you're learning how to use your energy, and I want to show you that there's more where that came from. Like, I am also a part of you, of your love, of your expression. Like, I'm a reflection. You're a reflection of people. Thank you. So just be ready, you all, to collaborate with people. And before you get upset with them, look at yourself. Like, what do I need from me? What am I doing for me? How am I honoring myself? Am I setting the right boundaries? Am I communicating? What am I doing to myself first before I start blaming others or start trying to accuse others? Oh, okay. Let me see. Yeah, I feel like there's in this love energy, I'm feeling like there is a lot of energy. Like, there's a need to focus on running away from love. People who run away from love because love has made them feel resentful or angry or hurt by certain words and ways that somebody has expressed themselves to you before. Like, somebody's really bitter, or like this is an energy collectively that we all have to be patient as we work through this bitterness, because there's many people who have been out here who have felt rejected, who have felt dismissed. Like, this is why we have to practice listening to each other. I've already said that earlier, like knowing when to listen, knowing how to hold space for other people, knowing when to not judge, because we know ourselves and we know that we're not perfect and we've made mistakes and we are human. So we know the things that we face and have. Like, we're all around the same peer pressure. We're all around the same, indoctrination. We're all around the same influences that try to make us into things we don't want to become. So we can all empathize and have compassion for each other. because we're all faced with the same battles, the same struggles, the same things. Now, men and women, we might vary in ways, but ultimately, like, a lot of us deal with feeling rejected or dismissed, or just have these fears about love and love hurting us, love turning against us, love making us angry and bitter, or making us feel resentful because of all the sacrifices that we made and all the things that we do in the name of love, but that people take for granted. And there's all this energy here of just feeling hard. And love is soft. And then when we feel so hard and bricked up because damn, that shit hurt. We weren't, all this shit didn't happen, all this shit that made us feel rejected, you know. And now we're taking people's dismissal of us as rejection, as if we should close off our light, we should stop being love, we should stop being who we are, and we should internalize all this pain and become bitter and hostile and angry and raw and just start running and ghosting and disappearing from people and just not giving a fuck. Well, you can run, but you can't hide. Love is still gonna sit there and still say, baby, come back, come back, come sit down right here. I know you're hurt. I know you're angry. I know you're upset. I know people have rejected you before. I know people have not been able to receive you. I know people look at your love like it's crazy and wild and weird. But look, baby, I gave this love for you. I gave you this love for you. I didn't give this love for you to just worry about everybody else and act like you don't have any love. You do have your own self-love. Now, what we have to learn is to not internalize what other people are not capable of offering or giving to us in return, because that is a reflection of their own self-love and how deeply connected they are to it, or they're not, period. So it's like you can't let somebody's dismissal and confusion and all that shit make you deny the love within yourself. And oh, I'm just not gonna love, I'm not gonna be happy, I'm not gonna be this person anymore, I'm not gonna open up my heart, I'm just gonna be hard and cold. Because I hear people talk about this, and I do it too. I ain't gonna lie, I'd be like, yeah, I'm cold hearted as a fuck. Like, I'm gonna be cold today. I joke around and I'm like that. And I hear people like say that all the time. Like, if I feel like somebody's playing with my feelings, I'm gonna go cold. Or if you keep making me feel rejected or any of this, like, I'm gonna just turn cold. I'm just gonna run and disappear and ghost. Mm-mm-mm. No, you're not. Because Water said, get yourself together. Get yourself together. Get yourself together. Why would you think that love would want to come back home into your space if you are denying yourself? Imagine that you are the home and you're the door and you are the love, okay? Like, you're the love that's trying to get back home, but you're the door closing the door. Like, if you don't just get out your own way, just get out your own way. We get in our own way when we try to internalize other people's problems. Or we're triggered and we see that we do have a flaw, we have a problem. And instead of rejecting that within ourselves like everybody else does, that's an opportunity for us to acknowledge, embrace, and accept what we're seeing about ourselves that needs our nurturing. Because again, the ideal type of love is when two people, in my opinion, are able to bring out each other's inner child. So it's our inner child that needs to be corrected. That no, you don't cheat, you don't lie, you don't do this. I know you saw this. I know this is what you think is right, or this is what's going to get you your way if you manipulate. But no, we have to correct the inner child. The inner child is the one that's actually sabotaging the show. We're adults so we can train and listen and teach ourselves a new way of being. This is why we continue learning as adults, because it's like we're still teaching a younger version of ourselves. Like, that's not how we move, honey. That's not what we do. That's not love. That's not what's going to make you into the, that's not what's going to help you achieve your full potential, period. To internalize and pick up all these broken pieces and basically mimic it, because that's all the child knows how to do. But when a child in you feels safe to be seen, to love, and knows that, like, even if the world doesn't accept a child, but the child has a safe space here within yourself, your body, your home, within your family, your community, within your relationship with somebody, when it knows it has a space to be seen and be, there's nothing to heal from. There's absolutely nothing to heal from, because it changes from an invitation to healing to an invitation to just be yourself, to just being. So that's why I want y'all to think about 2025 as being, not healing, just being yourself. Cultivate the space for you to be yourself with you first. And then look for others who you see cultivate that same space for them to be themselves, and collaborate with them. Just see what happens. We don't have to do the labels. We don't have to do all these crazy things. We can just collaborate. And there are and then you'll be surprised that there are people out here who can actually help you learn to love yourself more, who can actually help you step into your potential more, who can actually like nurture you and help you grow at points that your younger self may have been stifled or stunted from. You know, like, love nurtures, which means love grows. So as long as you're growing, we in love, baby. As long as we're growing together, we in love. We're in love if we're growing. We're in love if we're being more of ourselves, being more confident in expressing ourselves, being more secure in ourselves. That's why I'm like in love. Like, I know everybody's not monogamous, but I'm a monogamous person, and I just feel like I chose monogamy, or monogamy is my choice, because one, like, learning to commit to myself and working on my own self-love has shown me how beautiful commitment is. And even developing my relationship with God was and still is a monogamous journey. Like, I let go of like listening to people tell me how to relate to God, and I took that journey into my own hands, where it's like I understand monogamy. Like, it's not like, I can understand why people may start with open relationships, all these other types of relationships before they get to monogamy, because monogamy is like truly like a very hard, disciplined thing to do, and it requires a hell of a lot of self-love. Like, you have to truly be in a space of self-love, self-respect, self-worth, and knowing your own value and self to a level where you know for a fact that you don't need John, Joe, Jane, Jeffrey, and all these other people to help you realize who you are, because you know who you are, and you know, like, very specific, like, what you need. And when you are full of love, I believe you end up learning less is more. So monogamy is like a goal that I see with a person to attain and achieve. I don't think relationships start off monogamous. I feel like dating with intention, or dating each other in general, and letting other situations fall out over time, because yeah, we're human, we're going to have other connections, we're going to have other things, but it's like not every situation is going to be able to meet us as deep in our own evolution of self-love as a significant connection can. Compatibility matters, right? So it's like we may start off with options and things and not sure if we're ready to fully commit, but it's like when you are evolving, and you're connecting with somebody and you're seeing that your path is aligning you, and this is a connection you feel like you can really be yourself around, and you're coming into a no judgment zone. You're coming into a zone where you're accepted, you're embraced, you're celebrated, you're uplifted, you're inspired, you're encouraged, you're motivated, and you feel the energy of love pumping you up and helping you grow. Oh yeah, you're going to go and you're going to migrate to what feels like home, especially if you know what that feels like in your relationship to yourself. And then, of course, as you're dating and you're getting to know somebody, you're learning how each other operate in each other's own individual will of love, of self love. Like you're both learning how each other operate, how each other think, what turns you on, what turns them off. You're learning all these things before you actually engage in this higher level commitment of monogamy. Monogamy is a very beautiful thing, but I truly believe like it takes two whole individuals to be able to securely practice monogamy. And I agree, when you know, like, fellas, y'all can't resist the love opportunities that you're going to have in 2025 and beyond with somebody that you're going to know if you commit to them, or if lay that foundation, that friendship, you get to know them, and you gradually, you know, commit more and more and more with them until you're now in a solidified monogamous relationship. You have to know that, like, that invitation to even embark on a journey of embracing one person fully is for your highest good. You have to be able to acknowledge and see that. You have to know that monogamy is not to restrict, limit, or put you in some type of confinement. It's literally meant to set free your highest potential when monogamy is done right. When monogamy is two individuals fusing their own capacity of love, their own energy, they're able to come together and fuse that energy, create basically a womb where you both are nurtured in order to grow into these different and higher versions of yourself. Okay? Yeah, my rising sign is Aries. My ascendant is Aries. Thank you. Or I already said thank you to the glasses. But either way, I hope that makes sense. Like, monogamy is the goal, in my opinion. Like, for the highest level of unconditional love and just really being in a secure relationship, monogamy, for sure. So if you're invited to explore monogamy, or just this is something you feel guided back into doing, or you see that there's an opportunity where somebody will embark on that journey with you, because all it to me is just a journey of, I love myself, you love yourself, we're already on this self-love journey, let's see where this can go together. Because no matter what, even in a monogamous relationship, the only thing that's going to make it sustain itself is when you and that person are able to check in with yourselves, be self-aware, hold yourself accountable, work on yourself, and then bring back into the connection what you've been working on, and collaborate. It's still going to require you to have that relationship with yourself, with your spirit, because it's like that the relationship at that point is just a mirror of the one you're having with yourself. That's all monogamy is to me. Like, I definitely want to have, y'all see that orb? What the fuck? All right, y'all. The ghost is up. I think it's time for me to get out. No, I'm kidding. But, like, honestly, that's my goal. That's my goal, is to attract a partner who is not afraid of taking on a monogamous connection. Because I feel like most people are sold this, like people, it's going back to that whole, I'm going to be cold and numb and just not like I don't care about love. And then they believe that the hookup culture and having all these casual flings and all that means that they're free. Sorry, I just disgusted the fuck out. No, you're not free, because what you just traded monogamous love that teaches you how to overall love yourself and respect yourself better. It just reinforces the relationship you have with yourself, okay, with God, okay. It reinforces that relationship. Monogamy, that's all it does. So you just forfeit the commitment that you have to yourself to now play out on a field where people can now use you for themselves. But yet people think that's freedom. People think that's liberation, but are not acknowledging that they're picking up those people's fears, demons, wounds, and everything else exchanged in those type of relationships. They feel broken. And then it's like, how do you have a whole awareness of yourself, that you're a whole being, if you are constantly going from one person to the next person and you're looking at all these other people trying to find a connection to something that's not even you? Because you're forfeiting the connection you have with yourself. You're forfeiting the work. You're ghosting yourself to sit here and play in everybody else's energy. Yeah, that's not really liberating, is it? Knowing that you're picking up everybody's baggage, karma, or that you're just reinforcing your own suffering by engaging with these type of people, and then you wonder why you don't believe in love. Because it's like you are constantly stripping yourself away from it. You're constantly taking yourself away from it. You're constantly doing everything that proves that you don't love yourself. So why would you believe there's love if you don't even believe in yourself? If you don't even believe the love that you are, if you don't even engage with the love that you are, to even have boundaries and self standards, self-respect, and everything else there that you're meant to have in order to carry yourself in a high self-esteem in God's image. So monogamy, okay, I believe is for people who are on this journey of self-love, self-mastery, self-knowledge, self-realization. And it's easier when you're in a monogamous relationship to have a reflection that is clear enough, meaning that they're not projecting onto you, you're not projecting onto them, there's no confusion, there's no judgment, there's nothing in the way. It's just a safe space, again, for your inner child to come out and be like, I made a mistake today. Or, I'm working on discipline, but today I was not very disciplined. Today I chose to do this, that. Somebody that you can really be safe with, somebody that can be your confidant, somebody that, can love you. Love takes on many different hats: doctor, teacher, healer, counselor. When you really have somebody that loves you, they literally are everything. Because it's hard to find those people you can just be yourself with. And I know people in the hookup culture going from one cheap thrill to the next, like, you can't be yourself with those people because you're in this energy of running from yourself, ghosting yourself, holding on to anger and bitterness, and trying to cope with it by dealing with people who just constantly are rejecting you. So it's like you're trying to run from the wound, but you keep running right back into it because you're refusing to do what? The work on yourself. That's love. Loving who you are, telling yourself when you messed up, correcting your wrongs, holding yourself to higher standards. You know, some of you are going to have to learn how to remove yourself from friendships, relationships, people who are just bad influences, people who are showing you that they want you to be stuck in misery with them. Like, if you ain't heard nobody tell you, I told you, Water told you that these people who are vibrating at the level of I just want to have superficial relationships, I don't want to have no in-depth intimacy, I don't want to have nothing that really sees me, that really helps me grow, I just want to be stuck in my ways. Guess what? They're stuck in fucking hell on earth. I'm talking to people who want to create heaven on earth, who believe in opening up their heaven is through mastering themselves, because you are the key to your dreams. You are the key to your happiness. You are the key to your wealth. You are the key, but you have to believe in yourself, which means you have to believe in love. You have to. Otherwise, you won't keep creating hell on earth, and you're going to think all that hell and bullshit is fucking fun and oh yeah, this is freedom. Baby, you ain't seen nothing yet until you actually fall in love with who you are, and then until you realize that you can share and love somebody else and they can love you, and now you have beautiful kids, and now you can grow a whole legacy on love by itself. Collaborate. Collaboration is the best for lovers, because look at all the beautiful things we make. We make the world a better place, don't we? When we making love. Okay, so yeah, that's enough love talk for today. I hope this gets your mind moving and shifting to putting new things at the forefront for 2025 when it comes to your love life, regardless if it's friends, family, yourself, or deciding to really intentionally get to know somebody and not be so attached to this fear-based energy of avoidance, of running. Like, no more running from love. It's time to like really face the challenge to be in love, because it's not the other person challenging you. It's never them. It's you challenging yourself. Like, can I forgive myself? If I can forgive myself, then I can forgive them. And look, I'm speaking this from somebody who's very cutthroat. Um, I have not, like, I can be very, like, this is my heart to heart. I have been very avoidant of love. I've been running. I'm a runner. Hello, it's me. I'm a runner. I have avoided facing love. I have literally have thought everybody is coming in my life trying to play me, trying to lie to me, trying to manipulate me, trying to do crazy shit to me. I even joke about it on TikTok. Like, I be over here like purposely trolling and saying shit. But I know, like, I have to face love head on, and I have to know that yes, people are going to do things I don't like, or people are going to do things that like make me question them or just put me in a place of discomfort, because it's going to look like what I've been through before, but it's not what I've been through before. Like, I have to constantly remind myself that like the way that something feels does not mean that that's what it is. The way that something looks does not mean that's what it is. You know, I have to work very harder at being receptive to things not being the way that I expect them to be, things being better. I have to kind of give the benefit of the doubt sometimes, sometimes. We're working on it. I don't know. We're figuring that out. But I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm definitely somebody that's like, I'm very cutthroat. I've cut people off like over like really short, like I've just let things go, and in a lot of cases it was necessary, right? But whoever else is dealing with this pattern or behavior of just cutting things off and just getting a whiff of bullshit, and then you just don't want it anymore. Um, okay, now, like, God is going to show us a connection that if we do that, we might really fucking regret it. This is your warning. This is my own warning, because I almost did this. But I was like, let me just be friends. Like, maybe this is my space where I need to just back off a little bit and just embrace a friendship, or just kind of tone it down to where I can be present still without fully removing myself after being triggered, or feeling like something kind of reminded me of what I've been through, or just gave me a flag, or just a signal that may not even be a red flag, may not even be nothing at all, right? But it just triggered me. It made me feel like I like this person does not know this about me or what I need in this area right now, but they're learning me. So I have to give them grace to learn, like, I cannot be handled this way, because as much as I have worked on myself, I can admit that in relationship, there's more work to do. And that means like what I have not been able to do alone, I'm going to have to now do with somebody. And most of us are going to have to be open and willing to explore that part of our healing where, yes, we've done a great job on ourselves, or we got it pretty good. But when it comes to people, we have to let people help us heal past what other people have done to us or made us feel. We have to let them change our perspective about situations. Like, oh, actually, this is not another serial love bomber that's trying to come in my life and ruin everything in my existence and trying to destroy me with all this fake ass love bullshit. Like, okay, it's not that. Whoops, that was a false alarm. Whoops, my bad. Oops, they were just being themselves, and I thought it was something else. Oops, my bad. So yeah, we're gonna have to be willing to allow people to show us different, and we have to be willing to show people different as well too. So I know there's certain ways that I've grown accustomed to, like I said, just cutting things off. Like, fuck it, bye, I don't care, turn my whole feelings off, go cold, like whatever, shut down. Like, I will shut down, and that is really a bad defense mechanism. Again, defense mechanisms, please know what your defense mechanisms are, because when God does reveal a connection or friendships or just new people to you in general that are actually put on your path to help you heal, to help you grow, to help you be better, to help you, feel a sense of community and joy in your life, God is going to let you know for sure who these people are. Because, like, the way that I recognize these people is upon meeting them, I can be myself with them. Like, just whatever, for whatever reason, there's just this natural energy of just being able to like let my hair down, be myself, be silly, giggly, and my inner child just comes out around them, right? You'll notice that. You'll notice what these genuine feelings and connections um, are going to be like. You'll notice. But then it's like once you see what God has put in your life that is genuine, that is true, that is different than what you've experienced before, once you get all those confirmations and you see more about these people and just they're opening up to you and you're opening up to them, Be ready for that first trigger. Be ready for that first disagreement. Be ready for just something to rub you the wrong way. Because this is called healing connections, baby. Healing connections do not have perfection in it. Healing connections means I feel safe enough to be vulnerable, which means your body and your mind are going to be safe. They're going to feel comfortable enough to let you know when you feel triggered, to let you know when like there's some type of unresolved trauma that's ready to come up and be addressed and supported by your newfound community or your newfound person. It's teamwork though. Remember, okay? Trust yourself. Always trust yourself. Pull back if you need space, but don't cut off, don't leave, don't run too far because some of you guys are going to be running away from the medicine. Okay? There are people coming in your life that are going to be medicine for you, who have the love that you need. And that's the beautiful thing about monogamous relationships is that if you have dealt with abandonment or trauma or just, not being fully heard, fully seen, I'm all about monogamy because it's like monogamy gives you a space where you are on the pedestal. You are the priority. You are um like you're purposeful in that connection. It doesn't stay afloat without you. Your presence is needed. If you don't know how to take up space in the real world yet, a monogamous partnership will definitely teach you how to take up space because you'll learn what makes you important and valued in a connection to somebody. That's if you're with the right person. Okay? But anyways, I'm going to leave that there. Prepare to meet new people and have new chances to heal in partnerships, but don't mistake after the honeymoon or the high infatuation phase or just really vibing with people and everything just being like really wonderful. Don't be discouraged when your body starts releasing trauma, when things start coming up, because the way that these things are going to be resolved is by the people now in your life responding to you differently, giving you the love, the reassurance, the commitment, the devotion, the behavior that you need to show you that it's okay. This is behind you now. It's okay to say it's okay to let this go. You're not in that hell no more dealing with the same people who want to put you through the same torture. You're now in energy, you're now in partnerships and experiencing energies of people who want to help you heal and become more whole and become more in love with yourself and your life and experience heaven on earth, who are here to enhance your joy and connection to life, not here to take you away from it. Okay, I'm going to leave that message there. Maybe next time I'll get to a poem. Um, Hold on. I actually might have some in front of me. Hmm. Okay, we'll go ahead with this one because this is the first one I found. Looking through rose-colored glasses, I've been searching, pieces gone missing since love's been emptied. Time after time, lies after lies, my eyes can't see the difference. But how it feels is different. The love within is clear, outside is a broken mirror. Heart shattered with blood cries, smeared across each life. Out of sight, out of mind. Dare to tempt the hunger inside. the mask of pretending we haven't been deprived of love we hope to find, to inspire another life, for our past to become a note in a bottle that sails by. When soulmates decide to journey together is more than suffering while time flies. Although we're timeless, still running out of time. Fate gives us chances to try. Angels left wings behind angels left behind wings to fly. Who's left in faith to make love instead of crimes? Finish the story like Eric and Shelley, guiding love into the afterlife. Like the crow, we navigate darkness to see the light. Our heart believes and justice rings, destiny to be reborn in each other's eyes. If only I could stop looking and water the grass by each other's side. But I mourn the love offered is not the same as I know inside. Peace, Water family. Make sure the love reflects the love you know inside. That's how you know it's real. Peace. Talk to you soon.